They were movement children. My daughter was barred from all public schools in Petersburg because we wouldn't sign the pupil placement form that they had then, which perpetuated segregation during the massive resistance under J. Lindsay Almond, who was governor of Virginia at the time.
And what was the people? It was the pupil placement form.
Pupil placement form.
And it restricted where children could go to?
You signed it. You gave your right to the school board to assign your child to a school of their choosing, and we refused to sign it, and so my daughter was homeschooled by my wife and by teachers in my congregation. They would bring the lessons and my wife would teach her. And of course, she finished Harvard University and won a full fellowship to Yale. She did a master's in 3 years and now is employed by the National Endowment of the Arts as a grants administrator. We're very proud of her.
And as your children were growing up and you were traveling a lot at one point and being involved in a variety of demonstrations, your family, your wife had to face a number of threats and whatever.
And the children got ridiculed from their compatriots in school about your father's in jail, you know, that kind of thing. But they made the adjustment, and they were movement children. And to this day, they're very sensitive to race issues.
I read that sometimes when you were away traveling, doing race work, that your wife would...
Slept with a revolver under her pillow.
Right.
Yeah, right here in Petersburg.
Things were that dangerous?
This is Southside Virginia. Yes, we caught a young white lad one night. We had lights on the parsonage, you know, and he was out there shooting the lights out. And I think I remember them throwing a rock through the front window, and we had all kinds of threatening calls.
And despite all of that, you were determined to keep going forward.
Yeah, we never thought about turning back. Despite the threats, despite the danger. By that time, I had become nonviolent under the influence of Dr. King. I wasn't always nonviolent. I used to collect guns as a hobby, and I did the stocks and reblued the barrels. And I was, in fact, in Petersburg, my first couple of years, I carried a gun. And I was just waiting for some honky to cross me so I'd have an excuse to shoot him. I had a nickel-plated Smith & Wesson .32. And Dr. King made me put my gun down.